educational institution, I would say both knowledge and skills are completely out of the system. Knowledge is being taken over by the internet, and whatever is coming through, knowledge is getting redundant very fast. Skills are going to be replaced by robots. The only thing that remains in the education metrics is attitude. And I think as educators, our biggest role is to build that attitude of learning and make our students continuous learners. And that's the only way we can bridge the gap between what the corporate wants and the academic can do. Because corporates are also struggling with the same problem of this volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And they themselves don't know what is the skill that they want in the next 2 years, because skills are changing fast. So we need to prepare students who have got the ability to change. One final point that I would like to put to, we are all blessed in India. We have a large demand in our country for students. And yet we are competing. We have 3,500 plus business schools in our country. Only 14 of them are probably internationally accredited, and that's a small number. But this entire demand can actually be met. It's just that we are not focusing on delivery. If we start focusing and doing our job right, the entire cycle will change. As IFIM Business School, we take pride very simply, and we have gone on record stating that we are not a school which is creating the best, the best students. Our promise is we are taking the average and moving the average upwards by delta. And if all of us can focus on moving the average of the country by delta, I think we'll contribute far more than every IIM which is dealing with the elite, making it more elite. So that's what I would like to end.
Wonderful. So we had a very good take on ranking and accreditation. Very varying views came, some passionate views came, which shows the involvement of us in the theme. Now I'd like to invite the audience to ask a question. One, and first here, and then we have, please. Please identify yourself and direct your question to any specific panelist, or if you want it open, then you say so.
Okay. I'm Pooja Agarwal. I'm from IIT Ghaziabad. First thing, I may not sound very good, but then at the first instance, being a B school professor and being doing the rankings, I do not agree that every B school kind of fudges the data. It's not true with every B school. And while coaching institutes may have their own perceptions about the B schools, even B school have their own perceptions about coaching institutes. Having said that, regarding the magazine, the rankings which are given by the magazines, even there I have found that every magazine is not that you can actually make your rankings by doing something here and there, because for example the good magazines like Business Today, they do not do their ranking survey on their own. They hire other independent agency and then they do the rankings. So whatever the ranking agency, the survey agency has, whatever the survey they have done, the verifications, the visits, after proper verifications, whatever results they are giving, the good B school magazines, they are really publishing those results. So advertisements can make a delta impact, but not that much that it will change somebody's decision to go or not to go to a B school.
Your question, please. Accreditation and or.
I just wanted to add this thing. No question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I just want to make one quick point on what Professor Asish Bhattacharyya said about the ranking. You said the media ranking, about the ranking. You had a very, very good defense, which I really appreciated. It's like what Mr. Sanjay already said, that it's about attitude. What attitude that you have, what matters really. I ran Business India ranking for 14 years from scratch, and I started the ranking in this country. But one thing we made very, very clear, my team, we did not share the information with anyone. And I carried a resignation letter in my pocket. And I used to deliver it straight to the printing press, so that my chairman will not influence, because my chairman was also editor. He will not influence, he will not say anything. So this is an attitude that one should have. The second thing about attitude is that my colleague here raised a question, I don't think it was answered properly to Mr. Professor Billy. Is that we're talking about the engineering new course. You're saying that, can we not introduce this new course? So the answer was that 40% of the engineering colleges are not getting admission to those, so therefore you have to close them down, and therefore there cannot be anything new. In the light of what you just now said, that it's a very, very rapidly changing world. In 2 years down the line, we don't know what's going to happen. On the one hand, if 40% is closing down, there is always 10% wanting to get in. There are a lot of newcomers want to get in, so we cannot close the gate for them. That's very, very important, because lots of things are changing. AI, for example, is absolutely new. Big data is absolutely new. So we have to necessarily have courses in that. Or any engineering college dedicated to that should be allowed. So there should be some attitude towards openness. Sir, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good observation. Anyone else?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, please.
I'm Vikram from Exam with Bhubaneswar. I have a small point. When we talk about the accreditation ranking, the first thing come to my mind is that whether we are connecting business to the society, whether a curriculum has been designed to connect business to the society, or whether our schools are only placement agencies. Number one. Number two, I am the chairperson of the admission, and I've seen over years, so I've seen a lot of degeneracy in the system, and probably in terms of the input, when we recruit students as a potential student, recruit candidates as a potential student. So probably this degeneracy has happened. Probably students in the school from standard 8, they have missed the curricular activity, co-curricular activity and extracurricular activity, and only the coaching centers have influenced everything, and probably they have set a goal post that I will study medicine, and he has not selected us, he has not selected for 2 years, and then he will go and join engineering college, and then he will study civil engineering, he will study chemical engineering, and doesn't know what is civil engineering, what is chemical engineering. Even if you ask, and they have joined a software company, so it has been facilitated by the engineering colleges to join a software company, and at the end of the day they will sit on the benches and their only objective is to prepare for CAT and JAT, and so they will get higher percentage, they will come to the interview board. This is the fact. So what has happened? The goal posts have been changed. They are without vision. So the goal posts are changed frequently. Person's goal post, he doesn't have a mission and vision statement in the life. So how he has wasted his time? So when he comes to a business school, he is only because he is not fitting himself for the curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular. He is not attentive. He is only busy with a toy. He is busy only with a toy, small toy. This is what happened in practice. So how to handle this situation? Probably we need to look very, very deeply at the school education. To revamping the school education is prime importance for the success of this accreditation ranking of the business school. Probably we can have the quality students. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, sure, please.
Okay, so are we placement agencies is one question which is coming over and over again.
Yeah.
So let's look at the role of an institution. There are three things, right? We are into knowledge creation, we are into teaching, we are into knowledge dissemination, and the third is we are trying to prepare students for vocation. So the third one is about placements. So definitely placements is something that we will have to deal with, and any one of these three parameters will be determined by the requirement of the market. Today it's placement, we have to do placement. Tomorrow it's knowledge creation, we have to do knowledge creation. Day after it's about preparing students, we have to do that. So that's our role. We cannot be defining that, that's the need of the market. That's the first thing. And the second thing, coming to your school education. I personally believe that, there are two problems with our school education. One is the entire education system has been designed to create people who toe the line. We don't have an education system that is designed to build leaders, problem solvers, or entrepreneurs. I can give you a very simple example. When we give our board papers, if I find a very innovative way of solving my math problem, probably, even if I get the answer right, probably I'll get lesser marks because I've not followed the method defined by the board. That means it's taking away the innovation from me completely. So we have always been following the tour, but we do a good job. Let me tell you, I don't know whether it's a school system that does a good job or a parenting system that does a good job, but students coming to us till 12th are of good quality. We don't have to deal with many challenges that universities abroad need to deal with them. The challenge happens in our undergrad. It is not the school. So what happens is a person who's fighting his 12th standard and lands up even with a percentage of say 94%, which in my view is great, or even with 92, which is great, he gets beaten down the world because he does not get admission into a tier 1 institution. And guess what? Tier 1 institution seats are only about 20,000 to 30,000. So obviously everybody cannot get there, and then he goes into an undergrad institution that quality is not good. So when they come into the management school, it's a function of the undergrad education, it is not the function of the school. So that's the correction I wanted to do. If you were getting students from IIT BITS, let me tell you, would have said, yeah, they're doing a good job. But since we don't get that, or that's
I'll
the
just
problem.
make 2 points here actually. One is about the school education. Yes, the creativity and innovation is at the school. When the student is loaded with a class, and there are so many curricular activities and co-curricular activities, beyond that is going to another forum for coaching and all. Probably he is not finding any time, personal time. So innovation and creativity, which are supposed to start during the school, or entrepreneurship is supposed to start in the school. So probably I have decided to study mechanical engineering in standard 8. Probably how many of the students who study mechanical engineering can say why he has chosen that branch of mechanical engineering? I do not know. Yes, when I also studied at IIT Kharagpur and Delhi. So that is a thing actually we have decided early, yes.
So what you're saying is exactly what I'm saying.
Number 2, sir.
What you're saying is exactly what I'm saying, is because the availability of good institutions at undergrad is lower. So therefore the competition, therefore the coaching class, therefore the 8th standard. If we increase the number of undergrad institutions which are of quality, the coaching system would actually reduce. And they would have more opportunities.
We are grossly running out of time. We have taken 1 hour, 30 minutes almost, the time allotted. We started half an hour late.
One minute.
Yeah, we
Just to,
yes, please.
because many of the queries were addressed to me. I would like to first of all thank the panelists for giving me very, very important feedbacks. And I would like to thank in particular Professor Bhattacharyya for commenting on the regulatory goals. I would like to just quickly clarify that the macro view that regulator is taking, what you said, is the macro view in terms of presenting the statistics is concerned, but when it comes to the closing of the institution, what we look at is the